The ranking member on the House Oversight Committee says most of the first batch of the Jeffrey Epstein files released yesterday were already public. Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia of California says just 3% of the files released are actually new. The files are part of more than 30,000 pages of documents made public by the Oversight Committee, stemming from a subpoena issued last month to the Justice Department by committee chair, Republican James Comer of Kentucky. And Congressman Garcia joins us now. So if all of it was already public, what's new that we were seeing?
I mean, very little is new. I mean, the reality is that first, this batch of documents that got released yesterday by the committee, the committee itself has had for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
About 97% of those documents have all been released to the public. In fact, remember when those right-wing influencers back in February had those big binders, that was a lot of the information that was already released
Congressman,
to us
why
2
does
weeks
this
ago.
keep happening? Why do Republicans keep promising to release these files and then keep releasing the same things and making fools of their followers?
Because there is a massive White House cover-up going on right now. We should be very clear. When you campaign for president and you demand and you say you're going to release the files, and you do this for years, and then you win and you completely flip-flop, that is a cover-up. We know that Pam Bondi has already told the president, and she's been clear that he's in the files. It's been widely reported. And then we know that the president and Pam Bondi try to dismiss the files and not get them released. And so they have the power right now to get all the files out to the American public and to their supporters that they have betrayed over and over again. That release last night was a joke. The information was already public. We're demanding all the full files, and they need to comply with the subpoena immediately.
And it does seem like some Republicans unhappy as well. It's a story not going away as much as the White House would like it to. So, Congressman, we often have viewed this matter through a political lens, but it, of course, is a human story and a human tragedy with real victims involved. I know you met with some of them yesterday on the Hill, somebody speaking publicly today. Tell us a little bit about what they're saying as these wounds are being reopened.
Look, I think first, the conversations that we had yesterday were really hard. They were both infuriating to the level of what has happened to these women and, in some cases, girls when they were younger. It also was inspiring to hear their courage. And I think it's very important that as we hear these stories of these survivors over the next few days, that we believe them, that we support them, that we center their stories, and remember that the reason we are aggressively pushing these files is to ensure that they get justice, and that we take on and call out those that were predators, those that sexually trafficked, those that actually cause harm to these girls. Because one thing that they were all clear about was they want justice. They told us that yesterday, and they were, by the way, outraged at Ghislaine Maxwell and the treatment that she has been essentially given by the Trump Department of Justice, to be moved from her facility to a new facility where she has much more ability to roam free, where she's much more comfortable, is outrageous. And the victims were also horrified by those actions.
Ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia of California. Thank you, Congressman, for being with us this morning. We'll talk to you again soon. Barbara McQuade, final word to you on this. On the Epstein matter, you know, as he just said, we're still so many questions unanswered, but yet real concerns raised about the treatment that Ms. Maxwell has received from the Trump DOJ and what potentially could even be promised for her future.
Yeah, I just can't emphasize enough how unusual it is that we saw the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche go and meet with Ghislaine Maxwell. She is a convicted defendant. She has already had her trial appeal, and her case continues to be on appeal before the U.S. Supreme Court. They go in, they have this meeting, we've seen the transcript, and then suddenly she gets this better treatment of being sent to a low security prison, which is unprecedented.
Barb, can you, so this is where we are now, but go back to 2005, 2006, the sweetheart deal that a federal prosecutor gave a guy that had done unspeakable things, and it was so bizarre. It was a federal deal to basically wash away state charges. I mean, everything's been strange about this case from the beginning, hasn't it?
It has. And I'll tell you, Joe, the thing about that is the strangest to me is from time to time there are what's called universal settlements where you agree to resolve both a federal and state case all together in one resolution. But the leniency of the deal stands out. But the other thing that really raises a red flag for me is the secrecy of it. There was no consultation with the victims, and Alex Acosta negotiated that deal without the involvement or even notice to the FBI agents and the line prosecutors who were working on the case. That is just unheard of.
It's bizarre.
Former U.S. Attorney and MSNBC contributor Barbara McQuade, thank you.